Here's just another couple of our stories from our students. So I have the privilege as the owner of Global Training to read the feedback forms that come in as our students complete each week. We've got our students are all over Australia, and so here's just a couple more of their stories. So it's this one, another one came in this week. Training was in line with my current position, which gave me confidence and a great understanding of all of our assessments. My ultimate goal was to gain a qualification from my work experience, which I've been able to do. So that's really exciting for this person. The course related very much to most aspects of my current job, as most of the units were in line with my current day-to-day tasks. So our courses here are very practical and the students are able to relate to them. We don't make them do silly little activities. They actually work on their policies and procedures and systems from their current workplace and the projects that they're doing at work. So it relates really well to them. I think we're ready to go.
We are in business. Thank you, Anne, for that bit of improvising.
It's fine. I've got lots of stories.
So my name's Melanie and I'm responsible for the housekeeping, so I'm also responsible for this slightly late start. Just before Anne talks to you about what we're going to discuss today, just a couple of things. Anne's going to talk for about 30 minutes or so about, or maybe slightly less, about how this process works, how you can claim the wage subsidy for your clients, what it actually is as well. And then we've allowed sort of 10 to 15 minutes at the end for questions. So if anybody has any questions, just pop them in the chat or just do the hand raise thing at the bottom of your screen and we can unmute you at the end to ask them. So I'll keep an eye on the questions as we go and then I'll tell you if there's questions as we chip in. So let me introduce Anne before we go. So Anne Botting is our owner of the college here. She has been in business for how many, 15 years?
Oh no, 20 years. 27 years now. So.
And of those 27 years, the last, 14 or so years you've been delivering online learning, haven't you?
We have, yeah. So we've had the actual registered training organisation, which is just like a private TAFE college for the last 16 years, and about 13, 14 of those we've been online. So our students are all over Australia and internationally. Online training with us, but online with us means that they talk to their trainer over the phone.
Right, so you haven't just taken a PDF and chucked it online like everybody did last year when COVID hit or anything?
No, so we've been online. So when COVID hit last year, our students didn't find anything different because they just were still accessing their trainers or their completion coaches and all of their support as per normal.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, so one of the things that Anne's going to show you today is about the wage subsidy and how you can claim it, but also the fact that there are some strings attached to this wage subsidy, if you like, that the people have to do a course. So why, how the whole course is going to help them as much as why they need to do the wage subsidy, isn't it? So let us get started then. So can you explain to us, what are we here for? What is this thing that we're talking about?
Yeah, sure. Okay. So, well, first of all, I'd like to welcome all of our accountants and referral partners. I really appreciate that it is such a busy time for you at this stage and appreciate the time that you've been able to allocate across today. Because what I'm sitting here is like, I feel like I'm at the news desk. This is what I don't do every day, but I've got the good news story. And actually, I've got a great news story that Melanie and I have got that we're going to be able to share with you that you can then share with your clients. Because having been in business for the last 27 years, I've worked with lots of accountants from all sorts of levels and they're just fabulous. And we've had our last account for probably the last 10 years. And him and I, we've got a great relationship. So I don't do any of the books in my business. My husband, Shane, who you just saw the photo, he does all of that. But the accountant and I know that, we've got it switched on together because I want to know whatever there's a great deal around. He always comes and we do lots of whiteboard sessions. And if there's going to be a whiteboard session, anything strategic, anything business development, anything things, he knows that I want to be involved. And we've got this great fun sort of joke that we've had going for the last 10 years. He walks in and says, "Hi, Anne, I know what you want. You don't want to pay any tax." And I say, "Yeah, that's it." And then he says, "Right, and I know exactly how I'm going to save that for you." He says, "Anne, when we sit at the end of today, if you've got any profit in the business, I'll just make my invoice to you for the 12 months to equal exactly what your profit was, and you won't have to pay any tax." So we've always had a great laugh over the last 10 years about this one.
We do the same joke every 30
Oh yeah, yes, the last joke. So yeah, he was out the other day, but as accountants, there's nothing you can do for your people now about last financial year because that's been and gone. Also, but this financial year, we can certainly, you can help your clients.
Now, one of the things that you were just saying about good news, now most of our accountants, I had a look at the list that are on this webinar, are in New South Wales.
Oh, yes.
So
okay.
I'm thinking New South Wales business finances is not really a good news story at the moment.
No.
So is this going to be any use to them in this environment with everything that's going on down there?
Absolutely. So I'm sitting here in our Sunshine Coast office in Queensland, but we've got a New South Wales office as well. And yeah, really feel for businesses in New South Wales. I was just reading an email in from a travel agent this morning and how tough she's really had it and how this last lockdown is really just affecting her. So as your accountant, as the accountant to all of these business owners, you walk beside these people, you're their support, you're their encouragement, you're the person that they can actually talk to. Because I know as a business owner, you can't necessarily talk to your employees, but you can talk to your accountant and your financial advisors and different people. So yeah, so at this stage where business really is doing it tough, this is a good news story that you can actually share with them. It's great for them. It'll be good for you. It's good for everybody, but we'll go through all of that.
Okay.
So the program we've got is
yes. All about apprentices or what?
No, so it's not actually. So the good news story is I sit here at our news desk is that it's called a program released from the federal government called Boosting Apprenticeship Commencements. Now, everybody knows it as BAC because the reason why is that it's not all about apprenticeships at all. So it's about building our economy and building the skills in the economy. But through doing that, the federal government has given a wage rebate for up to $28,000 for each employee that a business owner puts on. Now,
but that's only for apprentices, right?
No, so it's not for apprentices, it's for trainees, and the trainees can be both existing workers and new. Now, if you've heard that it's only for new, that is commonly a little bit out there, but not necessarily, because existing workers can work as well. So what we're going to do is explain this process to you, and then give you kits and things that you can then go and share this with your business owners, because for them, we want to make it is really good news. We don't want them to miss out because it's actually real.
So the key thing is that it's not just for trade apprentices, it's anybody on a training program. There's a list of training programs.
Yes.
Anyone on one of those training programs. And it's not just for kids.
No, it's not for kids at all. So for most of the people, it is for, it can be all your mature age workers. They can already have qualifications. It's for training in lots of different fields for anyone that you put on new, as well as the existings. The existings have a smaller list, but we'll run through that as well. Okay. So
you've got some stats here.
I have, yeah.
Yeah, my accountants like statistics.
Yeah, I know my accountant, Troy, just loves statistics. Okay. All right. So JobKeeper was coming to an end, and we know that it had some flaws in it. This is not a replacement for it, but it does give you lots of benefits for the business owner. So, as a wage subsidy, they brought in originally last year of 100,000 training places, and that was introduced in October last year. Now, it's had a journey on this story, and lots of people have got a bit confused along that way as to what.
Because originally it was just open slather, wasn't it? It
was open slather. So the big companies got onto this really fast, and so the poor little guys, business owners like myself, just kind of were missing out on that at the beginning. I know at the beginning I tried to enroll a couple of my people, and I was like 2 days late for when one of the rules changed. So there were 7,000 places taken up in the first month. The existing criteria, 70,000 out of the 100,000. So most of them went really quickly. By May, there was 130,000 used. They'd sort of closed off most of the existing workers. So we had some people that we couldn't get onto the program. Like I was 2 days out on some of ours, but that's okay. But in the budget for this financial year, the government has uncapped it. They've added another 170,000 more places. They've added an extra $2.7 billion into this program. Now, when it came out in the budget release for it, it is talked about under BAC, but it was actually listed as sort of only promoting for new workers. But there is existing workers that are allowed to do it as well.
So most of the publicity about it has been talking about how you can hire a new trainee and put them on a course. There's two things that they're missing, isn't there? One is they're not really talking about the fact that that new trainee could be an experienced, qualified professional person. It doesn't have to be a teenager.
No.
And they're also not talking about the fact that there are some existing worker courses which you can put your current people through as well.
Yeah, exactly. So yes. But so keeping in those things in mind that we'll be able to help you through. So yes, it's a real program. So that's some of the things today that we just want to show you that yes, it is, because we've got a kit that'll actually be able to help you explain this to your business owners, because it really is the good news for them. So yes, it is official. It is all real. If you go back and watch the webinars for the coming through to this financial year's budget, you will refer to, and in the industry, it's called BAC. So because it's about the not only apprenticeships, it's about those traineeships and existing worker traineeships.
So if people go and Google boosting apprenticeships commencements, there's usually a line in there somewhere that talks about it's for new workers and existing workers only in certain circumstances. So are you going to talk us through what those circumstances
yes,
are?
we will. Yeah, we'll run through those.
A few more statistics just for the accountants.
Okay. All right. 20% of claims so far are for employees over 35 years. So don't think of it, and please tell your business owners that it's not just for putting on a 17-year-old carpenter. This is for all people. 40% have been in small businesses, which is great, which has been an increase from when the large guys came in, took it all over. So 60% not in traditional trades. So yeah, please don't think of it being your baker, your plumber, your carpenter. 90% has been in business services. We've got New South Wales has been a bit behind. So if you're in New South Wales, let's get in there and catch up. Okay, construction, accommodation, manufacturing, but we're working with business owners from all sorts of industries. So it really hasn't sort of cut through. Skill shortage, there is a lot of jobs advertised out there on Seek at the moment.
So how will this help with the skill shortage?
Well, what you can do is if you can't particularly find the people because it's for every new worker. So any one time that your employers put on a new worker, they can be putting them on a traineeship and claiming the wage subsidy.
So if you wanted to hire a salesperson or something, you could put them on a business diploma. You
certainly could put them on a business diploma and train them in the way that you want. If you have got positions that you can't fill, then you can actually put people on and actually train them yourselves if they haven't got the qualifications that you needed as well. So there's a kind of it's a win-win there, because you can actually really use it and help your business owners to find those people.
So these job numbers are massive. I remember looking at about this time last year, and there were like 30,000 jobs being advertised in the whole country. So there's a serious skill shortage.
Yes, I know. I was watching one of the news things the other night, and they were saying it's like we haven't seen this sort of thing since before global financial crisis. So which is really exciting. The other thing to keep in mind is that this will work for part-time and full-time employees.
So part-time as well.
Part-time as well. So in the world of accounting and IR and everything extra, often, so casuals are not allowed, but depending on the state, either for 15 or say about 15 hours a week, they can be put onto a part-time. And with often your casuals are part-timers anyway.
So one of the rules is that if you've got casuals and you convert them to part-time, then they count as a new worker, and you've got a big range of choices for courses. Yeah. Right. And the same for part-time to full-time, as my understanding.
Yeah. So part-time, full-time, or casual to part-time is eligible for this program. So what is the program? How does it all work? Okay, it's a win for a government, lots of wins here. It's a win for the government and our economy. It's a win for employers. It's a win for you as the accountant and the advisor. And it's definitely a win for the employees who actually participate in this. So what happens is it's a $28,000 wage rebate, up to $28,000. So if any employer is employing somebody and paying them $56,000 a year, on this program over 12 months, they will receive $28,000 in wage rebate.
What if they're paying them more than $56,000?
Well, so it caps out at that $28,000. So,
and what if they're paying them less?
Well, you would get half of what you pay them. So what happens is it's $7,000 per quarter in the wage rebate. And at the end of each quarter, you put in the pay slips for your people, and you put a copy of their training program in, and the government looks at how much you have paid your employee over that last quarter, and then they'll do half of that, up to $7,000, and rebate it back into the business owner's bank account.
So if we were to explain what this is in one sentence, you get a 50% wage subsidy for each person that you put on a training course, capped at $7,000 per person.
Yes.
Per quarter, for a year. That's a long sentence. And the only condition is that they're on an approved training program.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome.
And so basically, yes, it runs for every state. every industry, unlimited, and you've just got to be an Australian citizen, permanent resident, Kiwi that's been here 6 months. So yeah, most people qualify under all of that.
Okay, so what's in it for the government?
Okay, so for the government, they're really needing to boost our economy. They need some good news stories at the moment, especially today. If I was sitting home watching the news, it wouldn't be a good news story. So yeah, it boosts employment, and we're seeing that happening. It's upskilling the employees, and we really have seen through COVID that we need our own people here in Australia upskilled and really being innovative and working through. It is making businesses sustainable and innovative, and we're seeing that through all of our projects that our students are running, that the businesses are really looking at becoming more innovative, because as you get employees using their mind, creating studies, they're going to come up with great ideas that can be put into those businesses. So yeah, so it is a big win for our government. They are very happy for this to be running. It is real. Everything is good to go. And so they're happy for us to be out there promoting this, and for you as the accountants to be out there promoting this to your employers, because it's a good win for them. So it's actually your gift, their gift to you, to be able to share this story. Because it really is a present to the employer and the employees at the moment, and you get to share that with them. So it is a sort of like thing, and I sort of feel like when I'm talking to normal business owners that I'm kind of like, Santa's little helper and things. So it's like Christmas in July at the moment, and this is a story that you get to share, and you get to be the helper to give each of your clients a Christmas present. So Christmas in July, an early Christmas present.
Let your put your Santa hat on, Anne, or do you think the accountants aren't up for that?
Well, I think I'm not rightly sure. I might do. I put one on for a while. So, but I really do, because it is such a good news story. It's such a gift for the business owners where there is no JobKeeper anymore. You can help each of your clients save up to half their wages bill this year.
It's pretty awesome, isn't it? So the accountant, and we'll talk about the accountants in a moment, but we had a story yesterday of someone whose in-house CFO had said to the company, "You're not eligible," and then we're able to show them that they were. And so the accountants can be the ones to show them that.
Yeah, that's it. At the end of this, you're going to have the ability to give your clients the gift, and you can be the helper. So whether you'd like to be Josh Rosenberg's helper, or just feel that you've given them a good news story, because I just appreciate so much when my accountant comes to us and says, "Hi Anne, do you realise that this has changed and this has changed and this is where we're going to go and this is where your business can go," and everything.
So what's in it for employers is pretty self-explanatory, isn't it?
Yeah, so the employers get their dollars to the budget. So at the end of the financial year, they will, for the end of this next 12 months, from when they sign on for 12 months, they'll have an extra between $22,000 and $28,000 in their bank account from each of their employees. Now, they get to use that for great things. I know in our business, we've been able to put on extra staff and actually getting projects done that can then lead to longevity in our business and sustainability. We've used it for lots of employment, sort of different related things. But not only to that, there's all the other benefits as well, that if you've got trainees on, as accountants, you'll be able to advise them on. I can't, but you can. Things like wage tax, payroll tax things. Yeah, I don't do any of that, but yeah, payroll taxes. There might be completion and incentives. I know there's something about workers' compensation.
So basically, as well as the 28,000, there are a whole bunch of other incentives putting on trainees.
And so as the accountant, you'll be able to advise them on all of those. But yeah, I know there's heaps more. So when we talk about only these sorts of dollars, there's all of the others. But
plus, of course, they're getting skilled people.
Absolutely. And when your staff, because I know ours have been running since that October, November last year, and our team that have been on the training programs here have been that much more motivated. They've actually come in, they're sharing together, they're having discussions together. They've come up with some really good innovative ideas for the business.
And so we'll talk a little bit about in a moment about how the training works, but it does give you an opportunity to get your people to work on your business, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely, because they will be developing systems, policies and procedures for each of the employers' businesses.
Okay, so what's in it for the accountants? I presume we've got quite a lot of accountants on the call at the moment. How's it going to help them? Okay,
for you, you get to be that person that's going to travel through these next 12 months with the people. You're their advisor, you're their confidant, you're their trusted person. And this time you get to give them a good news story. Yeah, because they don't know what necessarily this next 12 months is. I certainly, don't know. Yeah, who knows? But this is a certainty that you know that you'll be able to share with them that if they were looking, if they've got employees and they're happy to upskill them, then the government is going to reward them for that. And you will just be able to journey with them and know that, and help them even at the end of each quarter, make sure that they're actually putting their little claim in to actually get the money in the bank account.
It's a bit like claiming JobKeeper, but with a couple more steps, isn't it? So for all those businesses who need their accountants to do their JobKeeper claims, they're going to need their accountants to do this for them as well.
Well, they certainly could use you for that, yeah. So at the end, but it is pretty good. So you basically, your employers, so your clients sign up people onto there, register them as a trainee. They have to nominate a training company, which hopefully will be us. And then at the end of each of the quarters, the apprenticeship centre mob send you a little reminder that says, hi, you've got Fred on a wage subsidy, you need to claim his wage subsidy. And you put in the wage, so you have to upload the wage slips for Fred, who's the employee on the traineeship, and then you put in his training program.
So it's just kind of like JobKeeper claiming, except you've got to add the training program into it as well.
Probably, yeah. So,
and of course, accountants can probably claim this for some of their own employees too. I know that's not what we're focused on today, but these guys could actually claim it for their own people.
Yes, because anyone there with a professional, thing can. So there's a few people that can't come into it, but we've got a quick skills test. So business owners can't do it. Yeah. And senior executives can't, but
if you hire an accountant, like a qualified accountant,
absolutely.
Could you put them on like a business diploma or something?
Yeah. There's all sorts of different HRs and safeties and different programs that they can do.
So just before we go on to the specific courses, why do employees want to do this?
Okay, employees, if you were on early, you would have heard my story about the guy that rang me yesterday. That has just, so Mark started with us a couple of years ago, did a certificate 4, he then did some HR work, he did his advanced diploma, and over those couple of years, because Mark had never gone, even finished year 12, and let alone gone to university. So Mark worked his way up through with us. We career developed and programmed with him. He then went in and got advanced entry through to his MBA and rang me yesterday to say, hi, and I've finished my MBA. And that is just such an achievement. And here at Global Training, we just see that all the time, so that people can take control. It doesn't matter about your past. They can take control of where they are and their career and where they want to go to. And so Mark's just got this fantastic new job at a big company. And he, it's sort of a dream job for him. So he's the manager of client services and customer services for this company. That's awesome. He was so excited yesterday and rang to say thank you so much. And we just do, and we get literally every week, as all of our students complete surveys and forms as on their way to getting their qualifications through. And it's always about how much they've built their confidence. We've had people that have said to us, and it's just totally changed my life. That's so good. So
and from the employer's point of view, that means you've got more motivated, more skilled.
So it's just totally changed their life. Some people have even said to us, and I wouldn't be here literally if I hadn't have done your course. Right. And had someone walking through life with me. So we give everybody a completion coach as well as the trainer, and the completion coach will walk through life. So just like you're the accountant to the employer and they get to tell you things, the employees actually talk to their completion coach about what's happening. So mental health during COVID has been really, huge. Mental health within employment scenarios has been huge.
So our completion coaches will support the students.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So the trainers do all the training and do all that great stuff, which affects and helps the business, and our completion coaches really just help that person journey through life. And so during COVID, we really have seen things that
have been using that service.
They have, and really benefited, and which is just coming through in their stories every day.
Okay, so tell us the fine print. Who's eligible, who isn't?
So who's eligible for this whole program from the government? Businesses, organisations and local councils. So if your clients are state government or federal government owned organisation, sorry, they're not in. Okay, but everybody else, so any employer, any size, any industry, any location.
So charities.
Charities are good to go.
So councils are in?
Councils are in, they're definitely good to go. And we're already working with quite a number of councils through New South Wales. We've been working with councils in New South Wales for probably the last 10 10 or more years.
And what about big companies, small companies?
Yep, both are all right to go again.
So sole traders not though?
No, so sole traders, and so the business owners, if you're the partner in the partnership, if you're the sole trader, is a no.
If you're the majority shareholder.
If you're the majority shareholder, if you're the sole director of the company.
Right.
So yeah, I can't go and do it. Yeah.
Because you can't be a trainee for yourself.
No, you can't be the trainee for yourself. So you can't be the executive level of management, because somebody actually has to have supervisor people as well. So those people become supervisors for people in their organisation.
Okay. So I know you wanted to put the numbers table together because, again, accountants, numbers. And so what's the money? How does this work? Tell us about this.
All right. So depending what state your employers are in, and whether it's going to be a new traineeship or an existing one. So after paying course fees, this is the example of some of the dollars they're going to be able to be kept. So it could be a lot
worse.
This is worst case. It can be a lot better than that, especially when you start adding in those payroll tax rebates or their super, their workers' comp and all of the other benefits and things.
There's a small detail that if they're in New South Wales and the employee is new, the course is free anyway. Yeah,
course is free. Yeah, so it used to be $1,000 for a traineeship, but now it's actually during COVID. New South Wales government has just been awesome and it made it free for employers.
So look at these numbers: 10 people.
10 people, 222,000. Yeah. That's $250,000.
It's not a very big company. So you could potentially have a company of maybe 15 people and make 5 of them supervisors and 10 of them into the courses.
Yeah.
And you're getting $250,000 added to your budget.
And by the end, over the 12 months. So at the end, so you can plan this out with them now, which gives you another great reason to go and talk to your people now, because often as accountants, you are looking for reasons to actually go and talk to your clients. So this is a really good news story that you can take them out for a coffee or shout them a coffee somewhere, or draw it up on the whiteboard and say, hey, listen, if we do this and plan it through correctly, there's huge benefits to your business, and $100,000 up to, if they're really big,
and
a couple $1 million back in the wages.
If you take the 10 participant example and say they're new employees, so they're not paying course fees and they're getting the extra state incentives, you could be talking at more like $300,000.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
And there isn't any business owner, let me assure you, there's no business owner that wouldn't like some extra dollars in there.
Especially in New South Wales.
Yeah.
So explain this existing worker thing, because I know this is really confusing and people keep going, oh no, it's only for tradies. So can you talk us through that?
All right. Okay. So what happens is, so for the new workers, we'll do existing workers for now. Okay. All right. So existing workers were in, then the government kind of half pulled them out. But when they pulled them out, they still left a list of them. Okay.
So this is not a loophole, this is a real thing.
It's a real thing. They just have an Appendix I, and the Appendix I just doesn't have many qualifications on it.
So that is the short list of qualifications that people are allowed to do if they're existing.
If they're existing workers.
But the title of it I can see from here says Trades-Based Australian Apprenticeship.
Yeah, it's called Trades-Based Australian Apprenticeships, but it's not for the
trade.
No, there's not just trades, it's not just apprenticeships. So on this list, we've got some that we work with. So our people through global training, we do workplace health and safety, which we can expand it into project management and some leadership management courses.
So that's on the list?
That's on our list. We've got environmental management and sustainability, and that has been a really great business course about making your business sustainable.
So this is not just talking about water testing and things like that?
No, it's all about your business environment and how do you make finance stable, how do you make social impact status for sustainability, economic
business continuity.
Business continuity, yeah, and there's some great cool projects in that. And we've got that sort of being run as a program for all employees and sort of upskilling all the latest things. So we talk about communication, we talk about mental health, we talk about digital skills and technology and how to work in a post-COVID world.
Okay, so we've got 3 courses on it. There's health and safety, which you can expand into leadership and project
management.
We've got sustainability, which is about business sustainability as well as environmental. And then there's a third one, which is a niche one, really.
Yeah, which is civil construction, for all of the civil construction leading hand supervisors, project managers, foremen, and
so all the infrastructure type companies and road builders and ditch diggers and those kinds of things.
Yeah, so and that's really cool because they've never had a career plan, and they now have a career pathing. We've been working with that industry for probably the last 10 years as well, 10, 12 years.
So prove to us that this is actually getting approved today. Show us
All right.
signed off by the government.
Signed off by the government. Here's a couple here that have signed off. So yeah, these ones is for environmental management sustainability, and this one's for a civil construction. So yeah, so we are seeing these coming in and working with our the apprenticeship centre
that
people.
piece of paper means the wage subsidy is approved.
Yes, so this piece of paper does mean the wage subsidy is approved. This is coming in from us for, as the training company, is that will we provide training for Fred and Mary?
And Fred and Mary had their wage subsidy approved, and now we're getting notified to start training.
Yeah, to start training. So at the meeting when Fred and Mary got signed up, the employer got to sign up for the wage subsidy at that very meeting. Right. With the the apprenticeship mob. So we have a checklist that we work through with all of the employers, and every employer gets an account manager here from us here at the office that will help them work through.
And for these accountants, we'll give them an account manager and checklist so they can help their clients with.
Absolutely, yes. We've got kits and we've got account managers here that will be able to work with you to support your people.
So that's for existing workers. So it's a small number of courses, but it can be possible.
Yes.
For new workers though, it's the sky's the limit, isn't it?
Yeah, for new workers.
So sorry, before I go, I've just jumped ahead. So the existing workers, those are the 4 courses. We've got 4 courses on there. You just said 3. Why are there 4?
With the project management, sort of rolling that out of our safety.
Combined safety and project
management. Safety and project management. And when we're talking safety, because of COVID has just brought it forward, that it's a workplace health and safety.
So it's about COVID safe plans and things.
COVID safe plans. We're now responsible for anyone that's working from home, for what's ergonomically done and safety. So yeah, so anyone that's working from home, we've actually picked up that we're actually they're liable for their employment scenario and office and whatever they're working from home as well.
So say
and the mental health as well, that health.
So say I'm an accounting firm and I'm going, well, I've got a bunch of accountants and I'd like existing staff and I would like to put them onto something. Could I put my accountants on a workplace health and safety program?
Yes, you can.
As long as I have someone
who can supervise them and has got the things. And we've got a solution for working that through as well.
So we've got some documentation we can give on supervision and how to cover that.
Yes, we have, yeah.
Okay, so new workers, tell us about that.
Okay, so new workers are able to do certificates and diplomas, even advanced diplomas for it. And we've sort of got 15 courses that they can choose from.
Okay, and define new workers for us.
Okay, so a new worker is anyone that's employed with the company under 3 months. So it's those people that you can transition people from a casual through to part-time through to full-time, or have already employed them. And if they've been with you under 3 months, they're classed as a new worker.
So what if there's someone sitting here and they've got someone who's been here for 2 months, 3.5 weeks, and they're like, it's going to take some time to work through the bureaucracy. My understanding is that as long as they start the ball rolling inside the 3 months, I was told yesterday by the apprenticeship centre that if they contact the apprenticeship centre inside that 3 months and request an appointment, then they can backdate it to the date of the request.
Right, okay, so get in and talk to us real fast after.
Yeah, so if you've got some that are in that, talk to us quickly.
Yeah, talk to us quickly and work through. And and our account managers work through to prioritise it.
So these courses though, what if people have already got a degree or something? Can they still do them?
Absolutely. So the course is going to run over 12 months. Okay, it's not going to be a heavy burden on the people because they're going to be working on the projects that will benefit the business. So they're working on their policies, their procedures, their systems and everything. So a lot of it is based on the projects that they're doing and everything that they're running on their day-to-day work. So that will fit in. So
if you've got an engineer or an accountant or someone who's already a graduate, you're not sending them back to like school to do.
No. So when you're working with us here at Global Training Institute, we've been working with mature age people for our whole 16 years. We don't work with sort of 16-year-olds. And so anyone that works with us, we've never really started with the silly little activity books and filling out seats. We don't do that. We work on real policies, procedures and systems from individual businesses.
So let's talk about the costs.
Okay.
How much does it cost?
All right, so the price will vary depending on what state your employers are in and what the course is. So if you're in New South Wales, it's free for all of your new workers.
And that's casual part-time, upgrading to part-time or full-time.
Yep.
no matter how long the casuals or part-times have been there, they can be there for quite a while. And then new to the company in the last 90 days, no matter what their employment status.
Okay, so if you've got existing workers, you do pay us for the training. So we have not inflated our fees or anything. So fees range between $5,500 to about your $7,600. So you're still out of $28,000. You can, or even if it's in a diploma, actually we only cert 4, so you'll always keep about the 22,000.
Right. But what if you don't get approved for the wage subsidy and you've got to pay for the course?
Okay, so if you're not approved for the wage subsidy, we don't charge anything. So we have a risk-free guarantee. So you actually, your employers will meet with, and the employees will meet with the apprenticeship centre if they're approved and everything, and then they get signed on and we get one of these. From here, then we will look at working out, and we've got fee plans as well. So yeah, so basically each of the people you work with can keep at least 20 grand, 22 grand, plus there's extra additional things, benefits.
In a lot of cases, it's going to be 30,000 plus. So
yeah, and other times it's going to be 30,000. But if you work on the, you know, the worst case scenario and just multiply it by 20,000, then that's all sort of fine.
Okay. So how to actually claim it? You've got a document.
Yeah. So we've had this one, which is on the screen at the moment. That's just at the end of each of the quarters. So at the sign-up meeting, they sign the thing for the apprenticeship wage subsidy at the sign-up meeting with the apprenticeship provider. And then at the end of the quarter, they send you a reminder, and like the letter looks like this, and we get little text messages and different things. And it says, hi, submit for Fred or Mary, their wages pay slips for the quarter and their training plan.
Now, you've mentioned apprenticeship centres a few times. One of the things we've found is that not all of, surprisingly, not all of the apprenticeship centres actually understand, especially the existing worker stuff.
Yeah, no, we've
figured out a list of the ones who do that we can give to these guys. Because
unfortunately, we've had so many employers go to their local person
and be told, no, you can't.
I'm like, because they can. And so, yeah, so we've got, if any of you people have got offices in other states as well, we've got national providers, client account managers that we can refer you to, so that it makes all of that really simple.
I was talking to one of the team the other day, and they said that they had someone who said, oh no, we already have an apprenticeship centre that we've used for our trainees. And they went to them and said, no, there's no funding for existing workers. And then they rang one of the ones on the list, and he's like, yeah, of course you can, and they got it.
Yeah, so it is. It's just having to know what it is, but in our checklist and how to ask for it. So in our checklist, we give a sheet that says, hi, this is what you need to have with you at your apprenticeship centre meeting.
Because there's various codes and things that have to go on the forms and stuff, aren't there?
Yeah, so we kind of, but we've simplified it all. There's a simple checklist. We just say it's like our bouncing ball, tell them to follow the bouncing ball. And if they do that, they're coming in and out, and it's...
And we should tell these accountants that one of the reasons that we decided to do an accountants webinar is because we put together this perfect checklist and we can't get people to follow it. So we're hoping that you as the accountants will actually follow it, and then their system will work.
Yes, but no. So if they do, there's just a couple of little tricks along the way of just knowing what it is and having how to code it, and knowing that it is real, and fight for it because it is real.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit briefly about the actual training side of it. Like, we've talked a lot about the money side, but obviously you get the money for putting people on a course. So how does our course work?
Okay, so other than like the guy that I was just telling you about, Mark, that has got his MBA, meet Wendy here. So Wendy's with one of the councils. She was with a council in New South Wales. She was a student with in 2009. And she has
a really old photo.
No, this is her brand new photo. So we have online graduations at the moment, and Wendy just re-graduated with us a couple of weeks ago.
So it took her 10 years to do a course.
She's done a few along the way, and so she's just done another couple there. So she's just come back again. So a lot of our students will be returnees, and we're still working with the council that she used to work with as well. They've got people on here. I think one of these is from actually theirs. And so for the students, they just benefit, and then they graduate and complete, and it's just such a great joy for them. So they have a one-on-one training program with their trainer and their completion coaches.
So one-on-one, but not face-to-face?
No, it's over the phone, and we also run lots of technology, Zoomy thingies like today. Right. They don't have to go. A lot of the employers were concerned that they would be losing people off to go to workshops and that residential training blocks, that traditional apprenticeship
at the moment to let them go off to do training courses. And
so no, so there's no workshops that you have to attend. There's no exams, there's no essays and things. We have set appointment times that they have regular appointment times with their trainers and their completion coach that all get booked in here from the office, and they jump on and talk to those individually through on the phone.
And there's a very good reason that the employers will actually want the course to take the whole 12 months, isn't it?
Yeah, so we've spread it out of the 12 months because they've got to be on the course for the 12 months to get those 4 lots of the wage subsidies.
So basically when the course finishes, the subsidy finishes.
Yes, yes. So it sort of can be done nice and slowly through so that the employer can receive the full wage subsidy for the 12 months.
So there's no, you don't need to rush through the course.
No, we don't know.
Okay. And also, what about if you've got a group and you want something kind of customized?
Yeah, okay. With the world of COVID and all of the new technology, we are still running workshops for people that have more than 20 employees with us, but as trainers are zooming into and streaming into those. And I've got an example of how it works. It works really well, and we've got an example that we can show videos.
So we've got some recordings of that to show people how it can work.
Yeah, how it can work, yes.
So it can be all the students in one room and the trainer being zoomed in, or the students can be all in different places.
They can, yeah. We've got examples of both of those. And it's kind of one of the ones we've done is called Making Change Stick in an Organisation. So while they're watching it, it's actually really educational as well.
And they can still do like interactive workshops.
Shops, yes.
Awesome. So just to wrap up this, and then if people want to start thinking about questions, I can see we've got a few already. Do you want to just remind everybody what the guarantee is, like in terms of the risks and the fees? Okay,
so we've got a new funding quiz that we've developed, and you'll be able to employ your clients will be able to quickly run through the funding quiz and see where they're going to be eligible for before they even start. So yeah, we've just designed one of those. And then there is no risk to the employers because they work with us on their own account manager, and then to go through to the meeting with the apprenticeship mob. And yeah, if the people aren't eligible or don't get signed up or anything, we don't receive one of these, then there's no payments to us.
Cool. And actually on that funding quiz, if people want a link to that to put themselves through or their clients through it, we can just email them the link.
Yeah, we'll be able to email them the link for that. That'll be fine.
Okay, so in terms of emailing them, what else can we send people?
All right, so we've got a kit that we've got to give you to your employees, so give to you to your clients. So we've got like a generic email letter that you can send out to them. We've got some links to like today's webinar that they can watch, but I've done it for employers. So that they can watch that as well and get a full understanding. And we've also got the little checklist, which will be able to help you and them through this. It is a very simple process, but you do just need to follow the checklist down.
Simple for accountants who think logically.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we've got a few questions that come in, and then if anyone has any other questions, just pop them in now would be a good time. So the first one, and actually this is one we probably could have anticipated, can we use it for accounting trainees?
Okay, so with accounting trainees, yeah, you may be able to. You would have to just check on the new list. I've got business and some management courses I don't have any actually specific accounting traineeships, but yes, accounting would be on the list with a different provider to me.
Okay, so basically we can still show them how the process works.
Absolutely.
We can't deliver the accounting training course.
No, I don't have any financial services ones. I have business and leadership management. Project management is really cool in financial firms.
But we're still happy to show them.
Oh, absolutely.
There might be some courses that we can do for them. Okay, let me just see. So if
it would only be for new workers on the specific accounting things, if there is one, because I haven't seen any on this magical list if it's existing.
So it would only be for new workers, did you say?
Yeah, if it for exactly accounting, I haven't seen any accounting ones on the actual list here.
Okay, so we have another question. Actually, if you guys could put in your questions into the Q&A tab, that's really helpful because then it's easier to see from here. So we have another question. What about if you've already got someone signed onto an apprenticeship through TAFE? Can you do anything? Yeah, now that person can actually do 2. They can do multiple. Right. So if you're not getting a wage subsidy for them on their current apprenticeship, you could sign them onto a CIP for a business or CIP for project management or something. One of our they're existing. If they're existing, they'd probably be doing a safety. So you said existing and new. So for new employees, you can just sign them on a second one, and you've got a whole range to choose from and get the wage subsidy for that. And they can do it quite slowly, can't they? Absolutely. So this is not going to affect their other anyway. So So they can definitely do 2, that's allowed.
That is allowed, but again, you'll want to confirm it with your apprenticeship mob, because it's like, I can't give financial advice, I can't give.
Yeah. But if you do,
but I do know it works.
Yeah, and if you look at the State Training Authority's website, they do actually say people are allowed to do 2 traineeships, either with the same employer or with 2 different employers, as long as the burden of work on that person is not too great.
Great, yes, and they're supported by the organisation.
So Nathan, for your new employees, that's fine. They can do a whole range of courses. For existing employees, have a talk to us about what they're actually doing, and we can see whether, I mean, if they're doing an actual trade apprenticeship, then something like workplace health and safety might be a good add-on for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone have any other questions? Oh, we've got a couple more here. Hang on, in the chat. Missed those ones. How many hours of study per week is expected?
Okay, that varies within each of the states. So generally speaking, we say an hour to 4 hours is what's sort of needed, during the work time, but realizing that when you're getting half your wages with half your time sort of things, that fits in here really easily. One of the states, I think
Victoria requires 3 hours of on-the-job training.
Yeah, Victoria requires 3 hours of on-the-job training.
But that on-the-job training can still be relevant to the job.
Oh, absolutely. And because you're working on your company policies, procedures, systems, checklists and everything anyway, then that fits in really well. And it can be all averaged to over the month. So if people are in really busy times, it can be averaged out. It just means that with your supervisor and your training, the employer, when they sit down at the apprenticeship meeting, they just need to make sure that they've got a plan for how that's going to work. And our account managers will help them sort of map out a plan.
Okay. So if, and I was talking to someone the other day and they said, oh, look, I've got 40 people that I'd like to put on it, but we're way too busy. But basically, if they could get half the wages paid for all those 40 people, and even if they hired 4 more people on a half-wage subsidy to free them up to do the course, they're still going to be well ahead, aren't they?
Well and truly, yeah. Do the figures on that, and there's it works. So even if they need to employ somebody that can help supervise them and set it up,
if you've got more than 1 or 2, you're still going to be ahead. Well
and truly ahead, yes. And we can help work through. So we've got sort of each of the states listed on one of the checklists that we can send through, and we have processes still give some hints and tips to help work that through.
Okay, so who pays for the course, the employer or the employee?
Okay, the employer must pay for the course, and we do have a payment plan scenario for that, but the employer is responsible, so it is a free course to the employee.
But if they're a new worker in New South Wales, then nobody pays. Government pays.
Yeah, government pays. Thank you very much, New South Wales government. They've been awesome.
So someone has said, could you please share the list of courses which are eligible under this program? Yeah, if they just shoot us an email.
Yeah, to our wage subsidy, and we'll shoot that back out to you.
Okay, and then there's another question. What's the list of trades where the employees have been employed for more than 90 days and can still be eligible? Okay,
so that's on the Appendix I of it.
And in our case, it's those 4 courses.
Yeah, so in our case, we've got, so on here, I'm just having a quick look. If somebody was into pet grooming, it's on the list. A retail nursery is on the list.
So it's not just plumbing.
No, it's not just plumbing. There's a floriculture.
So can we send that list to someone once? Can they?
Yeah, we can. Yes.
All right. So if you want that list, just shoot us an email.
Shoot us an email.
What if the employees don't finish their course? What happens? Do they have to pay back the wage subsidy?
No, the employee doesn't have to. So the employer does not have to pay back the wage subsidy. But from my point of view, when I'm the training company, I actually really want people to participate. We do have for employers of their fees, if people have withdrawn from the course, then we have got between this number and this days, we will send it back.
So we've got a sort of if you withdraw right at the beginning, you don't pay the full fee. But if somebody, as long as somebody's making small amounts of progress towards their course, it's fine.
Yes.
They don't have to get finished in the 12 months, as long as they're making progress.
Yes. So if they have left your organisation, then
actually, that's the next question. What if they leave during the training period? Yeah,
so if they leave during the training period, then the employer, your wage subsidy finishes because they're not employed with you anymore.
You don't pay it back?
You don't pay it back. You just, at the end of that quarter, you'll put in for Fred's wage subsidy until whenever he was there, his pay slips, and you get that amount of money. But
Right.
if he's not employed with you any longer,
It stops.
it stops. And if he's not doing any training, then it stops as well.
So somebody else says, what are your fees and charges?
Okay, so our fees and charges, I'd love to say I'm not going on a cruise ship. No, so our charges, depending on the course that is chosen, between $5,000 and sort of $7,680.
In the cases where we do have to charge.
Yes.
Otherwise free, depending.
Yeah, otherwise free, depending what they, what state and what the circumstance, situation is. But we provide a quote to each of the employers, because we've been working with them along the way anyway, with how many people and who they want, and then they can get a purchase order and work it through.
So the process is we give them something that says, here are your courses to choose from and here are the prices, and then they can pick and then they know what it's going to cost them.
Yeah, and they know well and truly up front. And for things. So most are starting with the very quick funding quiz to say, hi, who's going to be eligible? And then they're working through with our account managers to get it all together, work out how they're going to run their supervision, pick which course is going to be good for their people, organise their apprenticeship centre meeting, sign up for the wage subsidy, and then we receive one of these nice little forms and we organise their training and get them up and going.
So probably the best way to answer a lot of these questions that are coming through is and I'm happy to stay on and answer them now, of course, but if you just want to send an email to that wage subsidy email, and we will send you back price lists, course lists, like all that sort of stuff that will.
We've kind of got it in a coordinator's kit. So most of these, so as an accountant, you'll talk to the business owner, and then often that business owner will put a coordinator on, nominate somebody on their team to be the coordinator.
Yeah.
And then our account manager works with the coordinator, and we've got a nice little checklist that they follow through.
And if the accountant wants to put their own people on, they can just request a coordinator's kit for themselves.
Yeah, just request a coordinator's kit for yourself, and and we'll give you an account manager who'd love to work it through with you.
Okay, last question I think is, so if the accounting firm has got an accounting trainee or a new employee, and they did just a business course or a workplace health and safety course, so that's covered, they could get a wage subsidy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So even if you've hired someone to be an accounting trainee, and they've been there with you for a while, so they're not a new worker, you could put them on a workplace health and safety course as well.
Yes.
Get the wage subsidy for that. You just need someone in your workplace with skills and experience to supervise them, which we can explain the options for that. Okay, so basically, even if they're there and they're studying something else, there's probably still an opportunity. It's not too late.
No, it's not too late.
Even if it's too late for the current apprenticeship or traineeship that they're on, they can do a second one.
Do a second one, yes. So yes, they can.
Okay.
But so first thing can be just even going out to your client, to each of your clients and saying, hi, just keep in mind, anytime you're going to put somebody new on, or if you've got them under 3 months, be quick and we can get this through for you. And then, and then we can go back and look at the second round for the existings.
Okay, so one more question actually, and I think that if everyone's got any others, pop them in just quickly, otherwise this will be our last one. Can I brand this as my idea as the accountant and business strategist?
Yes, have your own Secret Santa hat, make yourself Josh Frydenberg's secret helper.
You go sprinkle money around.
And go and have fun. It really is a good news story. It's the one thing that you can actually go out to at the beginning of July now to each of your clients and say, hi, guess what? I've actually got some good news for you, and something that we can work together on over the next 12 months. So it allows you as the accountant to keep that relationship going. You're not just going to rock on up in the last week of June next year and say, hi, did you make any money? And right, what are we going to do for tax and where are we going to put your dollars? You can actually be planning this with them now. And actually, there'll be 4 times that, each of the ends of the quarters that you can, and gives you an opportunity to give them a call and say, hi, hey, remember, make sure you put Fred and Mary's forms in, or do you need help with that? So it just gives you that point of contact now with a good news story for starting this financial year, which we don't have a clue what's going to happen because of COVID and the economy and stuff, but this will give you an opportunity to be talking to them now, plus 3-4 more times throughout the year.
So we're quite happy for the accountants to go and get all the credit, aren't we?
Absolutely.
We know about this.
I just, from a business owner, I'm seeing how good it is in my business for what we've been able to do from the employees that have been on the program, plus, what goes in the bank account is always good, because we've been able to use it to, do a lot of expansion in our business and do projects employ people, and they are so thankful to come and work for our organisation as well. So it's just been a win-win-win.
It's just a shame more people don't know about it, but hopefully this will help to address that a little bit.
Yeah. So yes, feel free. I have many hats here that you can borrow and take, and and give those gifts out with the good news, and and run your own little what's this? A news broadcast with good news stories.
So we have recorded this, so if people want a copy, they can just email. You're happy to give a copy of this recording?
Well, absolutely. If they want to watch me, then yes.
Another hour of ad.
But
so,
yes.
Is there anything you want to say just to wrap up?
No, I just really thank you as a business owner, to accountants in general. I just know how much I've appreciated my accountant over the last 26, 27 years of working with our accountants, and especially over this time where we've been able to, it has been a journey of a lot of uncertainty during COVID and stuff, and our accountant certainly has been somebody that we can share with and brainstorm, because you've just got to throw lots of things on a whiteboard and see what's going to stick, what's going to not change, and everything extra. But yeah, so I say thank you to all the accountants, and and go have fun telling your clients about a good news story.
So thank you very much, and thank you everybody for attending. Pretty much everybody almost stayed until the end, so we really appreciate that.
Yeah,
and you got something out of it.